Beep, 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 beep. How are we? Good people of the Twinterwebs. Twinterwebs. Hey, right? All your Twitteroids, me YouTubes, me Jesterites and all that. Please do become Warrior Teacher. Link in the Dubris. But like, subscribe and share this. That's really important for the algos, the algorithms. And we're going to go back in time today because I found something from December, which I'd not seen. It passed me by. This does happen, and it seems to happen now with more frequency than I would like, because there's just so much going on. It's becoming very hard to keep up in the milieu. Okay, so, but this I think is an indicator, and I think it's a really good indicator. So today I'd like to talk about, from the time.com, from Time magazine, the fact that this article passed me by, which is a shame, I'm going to put that right now, is about the malpractice insurance prices are stopping small clinics from offering gender-affirming care to minors. UK, USA, different systems in terms of medicines. I mean, completely different systems in terms of healthcare. From our perspective, we lobby the public sector, we lobby government. We have been, and still are lobbying government, to get them to make the NHS behave, which we've been able to do. CAS review, really powerful, really strong in that arena. USA got a different problem. A, size, geography, yeah, and B, different states doing different things. But the nature of medicine in America is monetary, and therefore it's underwritten by businesses whose job it is to make a profit. Right? I think it was Dennis, when I tweeted about this originally, Dennis put underneath, it takes a market to end a market, and that's a really interesting comment from Dennis there. So let's see exactly what it is that's going on, and then you can compare it in your mind to the UK situation, because it is a different situation. Interesting thought experiment. After Iowa lawmakers passed a ban on gender-affirming care for minors in March, that was March 2023, managers of an LGBTQ+ health clinic located just across the state line in Moline, Illinois, decided to start offering that care. So, Iowa, right? Is that potatoes? No, it's Idaho, isn't it? Iowa, which recognised the dangers of trans and gender-affirming nonsense, right? Passed a law and said, no more. It ends. And just across the state line in Moline, M-O-L-I-N-E, Illinois, the LGBTQ+ health clinic, so, oh, that's all right, we'll have a bit of that. They can cross the border and come to us because it won't be illegal. See the problem? It's not like, just see the problem. Yeah. The added services would provide care to patients who live in a largely rural eastern Iowa, including some of the hundreds previously treated at a University of Iowa clinic, saving them half-day drives to clinics in larger cities like Chicago and Minneapolis. Geography coming into play there. By June, the Project of the Quad Cities, as the Illinois clinic is called, the Project of the Quad Cities. Sounds like a title of an Indiana Jones film, doesn't it? As the Illinois clinic is called, had hired a provider who specialises in transgender healthcare. So Andy Rowe, the project's healthcare operations director, called the clinic's insurance broker to see about getting the new provider added to the non-profit's malpractice policy. So they have to insure themselves there, so that if they're sued for malpractice or anything of that nature. I didn't anticipate that it was going to be a big deal, Rowe said. Then the insurance carrier's quotes came. The first one specifically excluded gender-affirming care for minors. I want the name of this insurance company so I can send them a big box of chocolates. Well done, guys and gals. So explicitly excluded the treatment of minors under the banner of this, now what we now know is a damaging, transing the gay away, gender-affirming care. The next response was the same, says Rowe, and the one after that. By early November, more than a dozen malpractice insurers had declined to offer the clinic a policy. Rowe didn't know it at the time, but he wasn't alone in his frustrating quest. This is glorious. Nearly half the states in America have banned medication or surgical treatment for transgender youth. No such thing. Independent clinics and medical practices located in states where such care is either allowed or protective have moved to fill that void for patients commuting or relocating across state lines. But as the risk of litigation rises for clinics, Obtaining malpractice insurance on the commercial marketplace has become a quiet barrier to offering care. No, it's become a barrier to causing harm. That's it, right? And good. We need that barrier. This is what we need them to do, see? It's just glorious. They wouldn't look it up, right? Even in states with legal protections for healthcare for trans people, that still causes a problem, right? In extreme cases, lawmakers have deployed malpractice insurance regulations against gender-affirming care in states where courts have slowed or blocked anti-trans legislation. We mean pro-human legislation. That's what you really mean, isn't it? Right? So in other words, right, this is great. Where the lawmakers have gone, we're not going to, they must be, experimented on. We must keep butchering the kids on this altar of gender identity ideology. The insurance companies have gone, we don't care. Here's the price. Well, we're not going to give it to you. So what we've got here is the marketplace being the bulwark against the state. That should upset the socialists, shouldn't it? So it's the marketplace going, no. And Dennis was right. It takes a market to stop a market. 5 months after starting his search for malpractice insurance, Rose said he received a quote for a policy that would allow the project to treat trans youth or to continue medically experimenting on children. That's when he realised finding a policy was only the first hurdle. He expected the coverage to cost $8,000 to $10,000 a year, but he was quoted 50 grand. Yeah, we can cover that. How much? 50 grand. Rose said he hadn't experienced anything like it in his 20 years working in healthcare administration. Of course you haven't, right? Because there hasn't been a medical scandal like this for over 20 years, well over 20 years. But now this medical scandal's out in the open and we know that they've been experimenting on children and converting them from gay to trans. You think the insurance company's going to go, yes, all right, mate, it's only 4K. It's 50K. It should be 500. So that absolutely nobody can afford to do it. Nobody. Right? That's what it should be. Insurance industry advocates argue the higher premiums are justified because the rise in legislation surrounding gender-affirming care for minors means clinics are at increased risk of being sued. You don't have to explain yourself. What that should say is insurance industry advocates have noticed that we've been experimenting and butchering children on the altar of the church of gender. These insurance companies have gone, oh, I don't want to be part of that. Right, let's price out the market. That's all you had to say. If state laws, quote, increase the risk of civil liability for health professionals, premiums will be adjusted accordingly and appropriately to reflect the level of financial risk incurred by the insured. Tell me in the Dubries, are you down with this? Because I'm certainly down with this. Insurance companies to the fore. I know you're doing it because you're greedy bastards. I'm not a fool. I don't think you're doing it out of any kind of altruism, but goodness me, I'm glad you're off the bench in one way or another. All right, let me know in the Dubries what you think. Become a warrior teacher. Buy me a coffee if you can. Support me in any way. Become a jesterite. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to go and have a sausage sandwich. So you lot have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.